So, formulating a qualitative research problem. So, foremost, before we start with our research, kahit anong research, kailangan natin is to formulate a problem. Last time, we already talked about that one way also. First thing that we have to do in starting doing a research is to look for a phenomenon or phenomena that will be our topic for the research. So, maghahanap tayo ng event, okay, or facts or mga pangyayari sa paligid natin, sa buhay natin, sa society, okay, mga pangyayari sa ating society or environment, okay, na yun yung ating magiging topic of our study, in research. So, kahit na may topic na tayo, kahit na meron na tayong phenomena na pag-uusapan sa ating research, we cannot still start our research kung wala tayong problema na i-formulate out of that phenomena. Okay? Excuse me. Okay, so how important is the research questions? So, again, so before in doing a research, okay, aside from identifying the phenomena that we want to study, okay, we also have now to formulate a research question or research problem, okay, that will be the basis of our study in relation to the phenomena. So the research questions bear the problem of the study and is considered as the heart of the research. Okay, so hindi tayo makakapag-umpisa kahit na meron na tayong topic, may idea na tayo, meron na tayong phenomenon na gusto natin pag-aralan kung wala tayong research question. So dito mag-uumpisa lahat sa ating research question because this will state what is the problem that we want to study out of that phenomenon. And this is considered as the heart of the research. Without a problem, there is no research. In the first place, kaya tayo nag-research kasi meron tayong nakitang problem na gusto nating tugunan. Okay? Gusto nating bigyan ng solution. O, meron tayong mga questions na gusto nating bigyan ng kasagutan. Okay? Excuse me. Next. Okay, so there are guidelines when we formulate, okay, the research problem. So first is we have to formulate a general problem. So in a qualitative research, mag-uumpisa muna tayo sa general problem. When we say general problem, it provides the overall picture and direction of the research. So this usually stated in narrative form. Okay, so it's statement siya in narrative form. Identify the central phenomenon you plan to explore. So in this general problem dito, makikita mo o mababasa mo agad yung phenomenon na you want to explore. So you tell in your question what you are going to describe, to explore, to generate, to discover, and understand. So dito natin makikita what you want to, as I mentioned, dito sa a general problem, nandito yung pinaka-central phenomenon na gusto mong i-explore, i-describe, okay, or to discover or to understand. So example of general problem, okay, so the study aims to explore the students' images and views on chemistry. So the general problem gives the overview of the research, and this determines the course and general idea of what the researcher aims to achieve. So sa general problem, dito mo agad makikita the overall picture of the research, what you want to study. This will also serve as the direction. Kaya nga, it will determine the course and general idea of what you want to achieve as a researcher. So always start with a general problem. So sa general problem, makikita natin dito is the second thing that we have to consider is to formulate at least 3 specific problem. So meron ka ng general problem pero hindi ka magtatapos sa general problem at mag-uumpisa ka na mag-research. You have to formulate at least to. Ibig sabihin pwedeng more than 3 specific problems. So the specific problems can be stated in question form. So kung ang general problem is in a narrative form, this time sa specific problem, magtatanong ka na talaga. Okay? So in question form na siya. The specific problems give the details of the research. So you will notice that the specific problem will actually give you the exact question out of that problem you presented in the general problem. So these are generated from the general problem, and when you make a question, specific question, problem, is hindi ka mag-uumpisa or you have to avoid using the why question. So, ang pwede mong gamitin is what or how, but not why. Why? Bakit? Because when we start with the question why, it actually implies of the cause and effect. So pag cause and effect na pinag-uusapan, hindi na tayo qualitative niyan, quanti na tayo. Okay, so hindi dapat tayo mag-uumpisa sa why because we are not talking about the effect or the cause and effect. Okay, we're not going to ask a question about, pertaining to cause and effect because that is not the field of qualitative research. So, most probably, ang madalas niyong gagamitin talaga is what and how. So, out of the general problem kanina na pinresent natin, ito yung 3 questions, specific questions na na-formulate. So, what are the students' images on chemistry based on their drawings? What are the students' views on chemistry? And what are learning theories are embedded on these images? So, you will notice, di ba? Study aims to explore the students' images and views on chemistry. So, yung first question, makikita nyo, ang una niyang tinanong is about the students' images on chemistry based on their drawing. So the question mentioned a particular way of expressing the image. It is through drawings. Yun yung pinigay niya. Sa general question, wala pa yan. Ang nakalagay lang is to explore the students' images. Kaya nga pagdating ng specific problem, particular na tayo, dun sa gusto nating i-address, out of the general problem. So gusto niya maintindihan kung paano niya the students' images on chemistry based on their drawing. So base sa mga drawings ng students, ano ba ang image ng chemistry para sa kanila? So yun yung first specific problem na gusto niyang malaman ang katanungan. So next is the students' views on chemistry. So after exploring the images, ito yung pangalawa niya, views. Okay, so mapapansin niyo yan dito sa next question. So views on chemistry naman. So kaya nga specific dinivide niya. Okay, yung dalawang pinresent niyang variable do sa general problem, dinivide niya into 2 questions. Okay, so for the third question, what are learning theories are embedded on these images? So there are some theories. Okay, there are theories presented about how images give you an understanding about the student's perspective or idea. So, yun yung sinama niya. Although hindi niyo makikita yan dito, okay? Kasi general lang siya. Okay? Pero isa yun sa gusto niyang pag-aralan. Okay? Gusto niyang malaman. Okay? There are learning theories that the researcher believe na related or embedded do sa images na gusto niyang na presented do sa kanyang general problem. So, 3 questions. So, at least 3 questions meron kayo ma-formulate sa inyong general problem. Ngayon, kung kaya nyo gumawa pa ng more than 3, much better. Kasi yun yung isa sa mga you're going to try to answer with your research. Actually, possible, sa first attempt nyo, it's also possible na 3 questions lang muna madederive nyo out of the general. Pero as you move on to your research, okay, dahil nga ang qualitative research is pwede siyang ma-modify, so maaring pwedeng madagdagan pa yung mga questions na yan based na rin sa magagather nyong data or information. Okay? So, to concretize the general problem, a set of specific problems needs to be formulated. So, in the given example, there are 3 specific problems that were generated from the general problem. Now, how can you formulate research problems? You have to read a lot of research articles kasi most probably yung mga questions ninyo, natanong na rin yan okay, in a different way nga na lang or in a different approach. Pwedeng yung mga questions yan natanong na in quantitative approach. Okay, wala pang nag-aaral sa quali. Okay, so you have to read a lot of research articles, journals, books, magazines, and other reading materials that can help you formulate good research problems. So, okay, magkakaroon lang kayo ng idea about some questions okay, or research problems if you are going to read okay, mga dati na mga studies or mga research. Okay? So, any questions? So far, may tanong ba kayo? How to formulate a general problem and a specific problem. So isa din sa magiging exercises nyo that you're going to submit on Friday. So dapat actually hindi ko naman kayo pagagawa ng qualitative research. Pero we were going to do step by step process of writing a research. Okay, so step-by-step process lang yung gagawin nito. Hindi nyo naman gagawin yung talagang parang thesis ng research. Okay? So, on Friday, so ngayon pa lang dapat nag-iisip na kayo anong topic niyo, anong fenomeno. Okay? O anong phenomena na gusto nyong pag-aralan, gusto nyong alamin. Okay? And then you have to generate you have to formulate one general problem dun sa phenomenon na napili ninyo o dun sa topic na napili ninyo. And out of the general problem, try to formulate 3 specific problems. Question problems. So, yun yung ngayong gagawin nyo with this week. Okay, so, sa Friday nyo ipapasa yon. Okay, so, general problem and 3 specific problems. So, remember, in general problem, balikan ko ulit, pag gagawa ng general problem, it should be in a narrative form. Okay, so, general siya. Okay, hindi pa siya totally specific. Okay, so, ito yung magdedetermine ano yung magiging course or direction of your research. Okay, so, pagdating sa specific or sa research problems, if you're going to formulate 3 specific problems, this should be in the question form. And then don't avoid beginning with the qualitative questions with why. Use what or how. Ito yung mga questions. So when you formulate a specific problems, it should be in the question form. So, 3. As you notice, ang ginawa dito sa general problem, paano siya nag-derive ng specific problems, dito rin lang siya kumuha sa mga pinresent niya sa general problem. Okay? So the study aims to explore the students' images and views in chemistry. So dito lang siya kumuha. Okay? Ang una niyang ginawa ng question is yung students' images. Okay? Using drawing. The second is their views, okay, about chemistry. And the third one is, okay, linking or relating, okay, theories, okay, to those images. Okay. So dito lang siya kumuha, okay, ng questions. Okay. That is more specific. Okay? So another example. Okay, di ba last time, nabanggit ko sa inyo, isa sa mga example ko parate is a phenomenon about COVID patients near-death experience, okay, of being alone or left alone and isolated from their family. So, ito yung isa sa nakita kong phenomenon. Itong mga COVID patients, okay, who had a near-death experience, okay, and their condition of being left alone and isolated from their families. Ano ba yung naging experience nila? Okay, being left alone and isolated, trying to survive from this virus. Okay, so yun yung aking fenomeno na gusto kong pag-aralan, gusto kong alamin. Okay? Kasi nakikita kong problema dyan is yung being left alone and isolated from their families, which I want to try to understand or to explore. So, ano yung sa tingin niyo yung pwedeng gawing general problem dyan? Okay, do you have any idea on how you're going to formulate this statement or this this statement into a general problem? Okay, because this is what you're going to do with your topic. So kung may topic kayo, ano yung topic ninyo, okay, ano yung gusto nyong malaman o explore do sa topic ninyo, and then how you're going to formulate, okay, a general problem. So ang aking gusto is, ito yung aking phenomenon that I would like to understand or to explore. Okay? So, sige. So, dahil COVID patients is the subject. Okay. So, near-death experience yung kanilang state of being. Okay? That I would like to explore. Okay? Dinagdagan ko ng being left alone and isolated from their families. So, ito yung ibang mga variables na gusto kong pag-aralan. Okay? Kasama ng subject at yung state of being niya. So, the study aims to explore. Okay? So, I would like to explore yung the near-death experiences of being left alone and isolated from their families of COVID-19 patients. Actually, pwede ko rin tanggalin naman yung from their families. Okay? The study aims to explore the near-death experiences of being left alone and isolated of COVID-19 patients. So this is the general problem that I would like to research about. Okay? And I want to explore, okay, ano yung their near-death experiences of being left alone. Mag-isa lang sila at isolated sila. Okay? They're not just alone, but they are also isolated from their families. Okay? These COVID patients. Okay? Now, ano yung mga questions ko? Okay, from that general problem. Excuse me. So, what is the experience of being left alone as a COVID-19 patient in facing a near-death experience? Okay, so I would like to know, ano ba yung naging experience nila being left alone? Okay? Facing a near-death experience. So, they almost died, okay, alone. So, I want to know their experiences. Okay? Ano ba yung mga naging karanasan nila? Okay? Next. How does a COVID-19 patient's experience of isolation from their families while trying to recover on their own? So, ano naman yung naging experience nila being isolated from their family? Okay? When they are trying to recover. So, they are already in their recovery stage, pero they're still being isolated. So, what are their experiences? Okay? Ano yung naging experiences nila? Being isolated from their families. Okay? While they are trying, okay, while they are thriving, okay, to recover. Okay, so nandun pa rin. So isolated. So gusto ko yung experience of being left alone nung time na okay, they are having a near death experience this time. Okay, is yung being isolated from their family while they are still in the recovery. Okay, so what is the experience of COVID-19 patient being treated from the illness alone and isolated? So while they are on the treatment, they are having a treatment of this illness, okay, ano yung naging experience nila? Okay, na nag-isa lang sila, okay, isolated sila, so walang dumadalaw sila sa kanila. Ayaw, walang pumupunta sa kanila para kamustahin sila kung anong nangyayari sa kanila. Okay? Usually, umaabot from 15 to a month silang nasa hospital. Okay? Na walang pumupunta at walang family or friends na pwedeng pumunta, dumalaw, at least kahit papano nandoon para suportahan sila at tulungan sila dito sa kanilang experience. Okay? Karanasan being a COVID patient. So ito yung 3 questions ko. At least 3 questions ko dito sa aking general problem. Okay? So makikita nyo yung first question ko, near-death experience of being left alone. Okay? Yun yung unang tanong ko. Okay? The second question is yung being isolated, okay, while they are in the recovery. Okay? And then, the third is, actually, dalawa na sila, okay, while they are having treatment. Okay? Habang ginagamot sila, okay, do sa process na yon, okay, ano yung experience nila? Okay? Ano yung tumatakbo sa isip nila habang mag-isa lang sila at isolated sila sa kanilang family. Okay? So, these are the 3 specific problems, okay, that I draw out, okay, or I drew out from the general problem. Okay, so any question? May tanong? So wala nang tanong. So this is the end of our topic. Okay, about formulating a research problem. So this will be your written exercise. Okay, I will open that, okay, later this afternoon. Diyan kayo ang magpapasa. So Friday naman ang deadline yan. Okay, so just you think of a problem, you think of a research topic, a phenomenon, and then you try to formulate a general problem. Okay? So, yung problem na yon, gumawa kayo ng 3 questions out of that problem. Okay? So, yan lang yung gusto ko munang makita, okay, as we walk through this research, qualitative research process. So, hindi kayo gagawa ng thesis, pero yung step by step ng paggawa ng qualitative research, gagawin natin. Okay, kaya so mag-uumpisa tayo dito sa problem. So I want to see your answer on Friday para ma-check ko at mabigyan ko kayo ng feedback. Okay, kasi next meeting, iba naman. Next meeting natin, hindi na tayo, tapos na tayo sa research problem. Dapat nakapag-formulate na kayo. Gagawa na tayo ng research title na. Okay, so out of this problem na ginawa ninyo, gagawa na kayo ng title of your research. Okay, so isa yun ulit sa next na ipapasa nyo. So kaya kailangan kong ma-check yan by Friday para dahil yun yung magiging basis ninyo ng inyong research title. para maibigay ko agad yung feedback sa inyo kasi by next Friday naman, research title naman. So unti-unti, step by step lang yung gagawin natin. So we're not going to make a thesis, pero gagawin natin yung